Welcome to AI in 10. I'm Chuck Getchell, and every day I break down the biggest AI story in just 10 minutes. What it is, why it matters, and how you can actually use it. Picture this. You're rushing out the door, juggling your phone, keys, and coffee. You mumble to Siri about needing to reschedule that dentist appointment, and instead of the usual, "I found this on the web," Siri actually looks at your calendar, calls the office, and books a new time slot that works. That's not science fiction anymore. That's coming to your iPhone next year. Apple just announced they're completely rebuilding Siri from the ground up, and they're partnering with Google to make it happen, which is like watching your two most competitive neighbors suddenly decide to build a fence together. Something big is clearly happening here. Here's what's actually changing. First, Siri is getting what Apple calls on-screen awareness. That means it can see what you're looking at on your phone. It's not just listening to your voice anymore. It's watching your screen like a helpful friend looking over your shoulder. Say you're reading an email about a work trip. You can tell Siri, "Book me a flight for this," and it knows exactly what this means. It sees the dates in your email, checks your calendar for conflicts, and starts looking for flights, all without you having to repeat a single detail. The technical magic comes from Google's Gemini model. This thing has over 1 trillion parameters. Think of parameters like brain connections. The more you have, the smarter you can be. For comparison, that's roughly equivalent to having the knowledge of a small library versus the encyclopedia that current Siri has been working with. But here's where Apple stays Apple. All this processing happens on what they call private cloud compute. Yeah, it's basically Apple's own secure servers that never share your data with Google or anyone else. Your information goes up encrypted, gets processed, and comes back down, like sending a letter in a locked box that only you have the key to. Now let's talk about what this means for your actual life. Because this isn't just about having cooler conversations with your phone. This is about getting hours back in your week. Think about your morning routine. Currently, you might check the weather app, then your calendar app, then your email. Then you manually figure out what to wear and when to leave. New Siri could look at all of that at once and just tell you, wear a jacket, leave 10 minutes early, your 9 a.m. got moved to 9:30. Or consider shopping. You're browsing for a new couch online. Instead of opening 12 different tabs to compare prices, Siri sees what you're looking at and instantly shows you the same couch for $200 less on another site. Plus, it checks if you have any store credit cards that offer extra discounts. Yeah, it's like having a personal shopping assistant who never gets tired of hunting for deals. For parents, this gets really interesting. You're helping with homework and your kid asks about the Revolutionary War. You can literally point your phone at their history textbook and say, "Explain this chapter like they're 10 years old." Siri reads the page, understands the context, and gives you an explanation that actually helps. No more pretending you remember everything from 5th grade. The job implications are huge too. If you're in sales, Siri could scan your CRM while you're on a call and whisper key details about the client. If you're a teacher, it could look at your lesson plan and suggest discussion questions. If you run a small business, it could review your daily schedule and automatically reschedule appointments around that supply delivery that just got delayed. But let's address the elephant in the room: privacy. Some of you are thinking, great, now both Apple and Google know everything about me. Actually, it's the opposite. Apple built this system specifically so Google never sees your personal data. It's like having a translator who speaks both languages but never remembers the conversations. Here's what you can actually do today to get ready for this. First, if you have an iPhone, make sure you're running iOS 18 or later. You can check this in Settings under General and Software Update. This gets you the foundation that the new Siri will build on. Second, start experimenting with what current Siri can already do. Most people use maybe 10% of Siri's current abilities. Try asking it, "What's on my screen?" when you're looking at a web page or email. It's primitive compared to what's coming, but it'll help you think in terms of context-aware assistance. Third, download the Google Gemini app. It's free. Play around with asking it complex questions that span multiple topics. Ask it something like, "Plan a weekend trip for someone who likes hiking but has a bad knee and needs to stay under $300. This gives you a taste of what multi-step reasoning feels like. If you want to get really prepared, join Apple's beta software program. Just go to beta.apple.com and sign up with your Apple ID. When the new Siri beta launches next summer, you'll be among the first to try it. Fair warning though, beta software can be buggy, so maybe don't do this on the phone you use for work. Start thinking about your daily frustrations differently. Every time you find yourself switching between apps to accomplish one task, or manually entering the same information multiple times, or forgetting to follow up on something, those are all problems the new Siri is designed to solve. Make a mental note of these moments. They're about to become much easier. Most importantly, start talking to AI like it's a capable assistant, not a magic robot. The people who'll get the most value from this are those who learn to delegate effectively. Think about what you'd ask a really good intern to help you with. That's the sweet spot for AI assistants. Here's what I think this really means. We're moving from the age of AI as a novelty to AI as infrastructure, like electricity or the internet. It's just going to be there, powering things you don't even think about anymore. The companies that succeed are the ones making AI invisible. You don't want to use AI, so when you want to get your work done, plan your life, and solve your problems, AI should just be the engine that makes it all work better. Apple seems to understand this in a way that feels very Apple. But the bigger story is about partnership. Apple swallowing their pride and working with Google shows just how serious this AI moment is. When companies that compete on everything else decide to collaborate, that tells you we're at an inflection point. It's like when former competitors started working together during the space race, the goal became bigger than the rivalry. The real winners will be people who embrace AI as a thinking partner, not people who fear it or ignore it. This new Siri isn't trying to replace your judgment, it's trying to amplify it. It handles the routine stuff so you can focus on the creative, strategic, and human parts of your life and work. So here's your takeaway. The most powerful AI assistant ever built is coming to the device in your pocket. It won't require you to learn new apps or change how you work. You'll just talk to it like you always have, except now it'll actually understand what you need, and more importantly, it'll know how to get it done. That's today's AI in 10. If you want to go deeper and learn AI with a community of people just like you, join us at aihammock.com. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.